Hello guys, this is Kong, and today I'm going to be doing another movie review for you guys. I'm going to be talking about Coco, produced by Disney and Pixar. So I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons, and I'm going to give you the scores. So let's start with the pros. There is a lot of pros. That usually mean I like this movie. I tend to recommend this movie. So let's talk about pros. The voice actors are superb, is high calibers, actor and actress, really good voice acting across the screen, even from the supporting cast and small cast. The minor roles they executed so beautifully. I like the visual effect, are superb, are vivid. It's beautiful to see. The animation of the people walking, the animal walking, barking, flying, it looked realistic. It looked like they actually studied. The lighting on the animals, there was one particular scene, she had like a monkey, spiritual monkey, and it was able to change light and flame. I thought that was really cool, unique to see. It was different, you know. It was like, oh wow, it's really unique. I love the introduction of the story of the about Miguel's his grandmother, great grandmother, and her love for her husband, the kids, and music, and what happened with the cutout. We don't actually see visual, but we just see cutout, and I thought that was really beautiful and simplistic. I like that. It's like easy to understand, easy to follow with the voiceover. Really beautiful, and they change it up. It's different, you know. A lot of movie they show you visual, but this is just, you know, it's like stop animation. That's just really beautiful. It was simple, different. Let's see. I like Anthony Gonzalez as Miguel. He seemed pure, he seemed innocent, he captured the character really well. Just perfect casting. Kudos to the casting directors. Gael Garcia Bruno as Hector he's a sweet guy. He's a scruffy guy, but he's really genuinely sweet and honest. I like that. He's not a bad character. He's not an evil person. He's just a sweet, genuine person. And he captured, his voice captured, his action captures it. Great development, character development. And I also like what's the Benjamin Pratt as Ernesto de la Cruz. His voice really captured this character's bigger than life personality. You know, his voice, his saying, his attitude, his the way he moved, the way he talked, you can see his ego, how big his ego is. You can see his pride, you can see his motivation, and that's really well captured in this movie. Each of the characters, their motivations, their characters are really well displayed here. You can tell they capture it all, and that's really good for character development. And I like Miguel's admiration towards or for Ernesto de la Cruz. It's realistically well depicted in a way that he's really naive. He's really doesn't know much about Ernesto de la Cruz, the backstory. All he knows is just the front. He doesn't know the backstory. I thought that was really well depicted, because in real life we don't know what's going on behind the scene. You know, between couples, between families, and brothers and sisters. We don't know that. We only know what people show us. And I thought this was well depicted, well captured, well shown to us at the audience. The story is simple and easy to follow. I like that. A lot of time, movie make things overcomplicated. It can be complicated, yet at the same time be simple. This movie is simple but complicated at the same time. and they did that really good. The story is simple. It's basically about Miguel wanted to pursue his passion of singing, playing guitar like his hero Ernesto de la Cruz, but his family won't let him. This because they want him to follow the footsteps of the family profession of shoemaking. That sort of stuff he doesn't want, and you see the conflict there. You see the conflict, the tension. You see his passion, his motivation, the character's motivation. It's easy to follow, easy to understand. Yet it's complicated because it deals with family, it deals with emotion, decision, and a past, and all that sort of thing that go along with that. We get to understand what's a family, like I said, family tradition. Paying respect to the, your grandparents and your uncles and your grandmas and all that sort of stuff. The tradition is well depicted. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like it is. It's like you actually go to a person's house and this is their tradition. It feels natural. It feels fluent. And the profession, obviously, they show you in a brief, cuts, scene, and they shows you throughout the movie, and that's really good. You don't want to be like hammered the first time. You want to just be, sprinkle across the movie, and that's really good. The conflict, like I already stated a little bit earlier, the conflict is clear to us as the audience. Him wanted to pursue his dream of being a singer, guitarist like Ernesto de la Cruz, but his family won't let him, won't be there. They're kind of like being like a roadblock for him, and he making a decision for himself. He tried to seize the moment of opportunity. You see the conflict is obvious, it's there, it's deep and rich. Miguel as a character is relatable, is familiar, is his past. We all walk that path of, parents of, is family more important than your career, or your career more important than family, or family more important than your career. It addresses that in this movie. Family is in this movie slightly more important than your career, because family is what supports you, and that's kind of what I got this movie. You can still pursue your dream as long as you have the support of your family. It is good. So it's like relatable. Like I said, we all walk that path of choosing careers and family. What else? I like the reveal of who Miguel's real grandfather, his real Ernesto de la Cruz. It was actually Hector, his great grandfather, great grandfather. And I thought that was like, he didn't know. He thought that was Ernesto de la Cruz was his grandfather, but it was not. It was actually Hector, the guy who actually wrote the song for Ernesto de la Cruz, and he was actual Ernesto de la Cruz behind the scene. I thought that was a great plot. It was a great reveal that, there's, like I said, there's more to the story, more to the people that they show us. I like the ending of, Miguel singing, and the traditional outfit, and his family embraces that, and the cat and the dog come back from the afterworld, or the other world, come back. I thought it really captured the normal that the family embraces this, and this is the progression of his past. And I like that. What else? So that's all the pros. There's a lot of pros. I really like this movie. I thought this movie was one of the more well executed foreign movie based, produced by Pixar and Disney. I thought they did a great job. Better than previous one. I can't remember what that movie was, but this one was well executed in casting, in stories, in development, in animation, and conflict and story. and make a really good story. It actually made me almost cry, because you feel for this main character, because I walked that path as he did, and I understand that. So it make relatable choices that we all make as human. So I thought that was great. Now let's move on to the con. There's not a lot of con, it's just nitpicky. So I'm going to still go over it anyway. So the con is that the songs that are sung by Miguel or Ernesto de la Cruz are short. I wish it was a little bit longer, because it's so beautiful. The songs are really, it's the tradition is that it's almost what represent Mexico, represent the people of Mexico. It's just, I wish it was just a little bit longer, a little bit like an actual song. It is song, no doubt, they're great, but I wish it was a little bit longer, more drawn out, so we can be into it. That's not a bad thing. So I would like to see more spiritual animal in the other worlds. We get to see some really big. I just like to see more. That's just me. I like to see animals and creatures. It's not a bad thing. It's just a suggestion. I wish this movie was spoken in Spanish. All of it in Spanish, and me watching it in subtitle would be much appreciated, because I feel like it is a Spanish. It's about the afterworld, and it's based on the Hispanic tradition. You think it would be a Spanish-based spoken language, and I thought that would be much better, because it showed that Disney and Pixar can actually do a foreign movie solely based on the spoken language, the native spoken language. And that would be sweet, instead of being imperial, forced upon, if you guys understand what I'm saying, it's like, because to me, it's like, they speak English and they sing the song in Spanish. It's like, just let it be in all Spanish. I would not mind. I think it's actually better in foreign language, because it gave you the language, the tonal voice gave you more impact, I believe. It's just, you are more involved if the people actually completely speak the Spanish language. That would have been, it made the movie complete, a complete package. Speaking of complete package, I wish the end credit would have song. It have beats, but I wish it have song, like longer song at the end. It just kind of make it a complete package, make it a movie experience for us as the audience. So on that note, I want to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend you go watch this movie. You will enjoy it a lot. It's a great movie. It's full of emotion, full of conflict. There's great moment, there's funny, and there's a sad moment. It has everything in there. And again, it's an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend you go watch it. And I believe there are some movie theater that would play strictly solo, only Spanish, in Spanish. And I highly recommend you go do that, because even if you don't speak Spanish, it will give you that immersive experience. So on a final note, I want to say thank you so much for your time and effort to watching my movie review. I really appreciate it. Please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and browse my channel. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.